Today, let's build an outdoor coffee table. Perfect to do it outside as well.
Inspired by this table that was $385, let's make one for $62. For a full list of items that you need, check out the description of this video or visit gooseandfin.com for full details.
Step one, we're going to take this 1x2 board and we're going to cut out 4 16-inch legs. So now we're going to cut out the aprons for the table. You're going to do 2 at 40 inches, 2 at 16 inches. One thing I find helpful to do is after you make your cuts, especially if you're doing a whole bunch of different sizes, make a little note at the ends of them so that you know what this piece is for, because sometimes it's easy to get things messed up. Okay, now we're going to cut for the leg details. So we're going to do 4 cuts with a 1x4 board at 16 inches, and then we're going to do 2 cuts with the 1x2 board at 40 inches. So out of the 1x2 board, we're going to cut out 9 42-inch pieces for the top. Done, we're going to move on to starting to make the pocket holes. If you haven't ever used a Kreg jig before to make pocket holes, please check out my video to see how to do it before you move on.
For the pocket holes, you're going to add 2 holes on the end of each of the table aprons, the supports, and the leg details.
To start with the pocket holes, you're going to cut the 2 sets of aprons that you have and make 2 pocket holes on each end of the apron. So now we're going to start attaching the aprons with the legs. One thing to note, since we are using 2x1s for the legs, is you're going to have the 2-inch side appear on the shorter part of the rectangle of the table. So on the 16-inch apron, you'll have the longer side of the leg. And then on the longer side, the 40-inch apron, you'll have the shorter 1-inch side.
Adding a bit of wood glue to the end of the apron, attach it with the 1 1/4 screws. Now that you're done with the shorter side of the table, you're going to attach the 40-inch apron with a bit of wood glue and the 1 1/4 inch screws. Here's the base of your table.
Now I'm working on the leg details. These are the 16-inch 1x4s that we cut. I did put pocket holes on 2 ends and put a little bit of wood glue. So I'll show you how I'm measuring the top one. So I put it in place. I took my level just to make sure it looks good. And then just to make sure everything stays in place, I am putting clamps on. Just to make sure we're solid and it doesn't move on me when I screw on each side. So now that I have the details on one side of the shorter end of the legs, I need to add it to the other, but I want to make sure that they're in the same spot. So measuring from the bottom of the leg to the bottom of your first detail, I have 4.6 inches. So whatever it is that you have, just try to make sure it's the same on the other side.
Repeat the same steps for the 40-inch leg detail on the longer parts of the table.
Okay, so to create our top, we're going to create a pattern. So you're going to have one flat and then take one of your boards to the side and then every other one, so that way you can have each space separated the same amount.
Start your first flat piece about 1/4 inch over the ledge of the table. Then with your nail gun, you're going to put 1 to 2 nails per side to keep it in place.
Now that I have my tabletop on, I cut my support beam to 44.5 centimeters. I'm going to add pocket holes on each end and add it as extra support for the tabletop.
Determine the middle of the long side of your table, and that's where you'll put your support beam. For a smooth finish, sand your table with 120 grit and then increase to 220 grit. Now it's time to stain. Start with a good wood conditioner, move on to your favorite stain, and then do 3 layers of the spar urethane to protect it. Et voila, enjoy!